Hey everyone, Delphi Trading Group here with our weekly market report that we put out for you guys every week here on YouTube. So please like, subscribe, get the word out. We are starting a little different today. We have about 4 or 5 minutes till the market closes, but we are in our Discord here, what we call the Delphi room up here. Okay, and we keep pounding the table on this for you guys to follow because we keep putting out amazing content here. You can see our handle here is at Delphi_trades. Again, at Delphi_trades. Okay, and just to give you guys an example, yesterday we posted that we saw some unusual option activity, UOA, which we'll get to here. You can see our channel right there. That somebody came in and bought 40 million in QQQ puts for next week. Okay, this is when the triple Qs, were up near like 607, 608. Okay, and now we all know what's going on today with the markets crashing this morning, with everything that's going on out in the Middle East, which is not looking good right now. But the point of this is that if you were following our channel on X, you could have took advantage of this post like we did here. I mean, our members, follow these, follow QQQ puts, crushed it this morning. But the point is, again, if you guys follow, you will see content that we're putting out. We're also putting out, Delphi signals off of our proprietary trading signal that continue to crush it. You can see here, some of these alerts were up, 300-400%. And again, nobody does what we do here. If we go to our option flow channel, what we call UOA, unusual option activity, okay, you can see those puts that were bought here on the Qs, okay, for next week. Okay, again, you can see where the Qs were. They're up near 606, 607. And I believe they got as low as 592 or 93 or something like that, or even lower. But again, that is why you guys should follow X, okay? Because we're putting out amazing content there, okay? So you can see there's a lot of option flows that we're posting throughout the day, and we'll actually talk about Netflix in a little bit, okay? As a bonus play, you can see somebody came in here and bought these March puts on Netflix, okay? And before we leave here, again, huge shout out to our community here. This is our testimonials channel. As we say, the proof is in the pudding. And again, no words for what our community is doing here. Big Win Willie, he had an account, he started with $500 in it, and he is already up in that account over 11x. Just incredible. No words for that. 500 to 6,200. And, again, below here, Stefan, he's traveling and he was able to pick up 233% gains on GLD alone, plus some put hedges that we had on, which we closed all our put hedges that we had this morning when the market opened. So again, if you want to find out more about us here, follow us in the Delphi room on Discord, visit our YouTube channel, visit our X channel. Our links are there for you guys to sign up. It's dirt cheap for all the channels we're providing here. Okay, so enough of that. Let's go to Thinkorswim. Here we are at Thinkorswim. And we're starting off with the monthly chart here at Thinkorswim. Markets are about to close in like 30 seconds. So the monthly chart of the S&P, okay? We talked about this last week, saying that the monthly charts, beware the monthly charts, because we had a pivot last month, okay? That is last month's candle there. And now we already have a pivot this month. Right there, you can see that pivot right there. Higher, low, higher, high. Now, obviously, it's still early, so the pivot can be negated if we take out last month's high. But the point is we already have and there's the market close. We already have a lower low on the monthly charts. So technically, this pivot is already in on the monthly chart. So you can see now it seems to be rolling over and pivoting lower. Okay, that's the SPX. If I go to the NASDAQ, the NDX, Okay, again, this is even worse. Okay, look at that pivot here. Again, we had the nasty pivot last month, and now, again, we have another pivot right now this month, again, and that's our forecast. Whether this forecast plays out, we don't know, but again, the monthly charts seem to be rolling over with, back-to-back pivots here. So just be very careful what you're doing, and this is why any bounce forecast that we give here is going to be very short-lived, in our opinion. Okay, and if we look at the IWM, again, we talked about this nasty shooting star, and now we have a full-fledged pivot on the monthly chart. So, don't think it can't come down. That's peanuts in the bigger scheme of things. That's around 246, okay, which is around 13 points lower. So, again, look at that volume below that green volume. Look at that CCI on the monthly chart. IWM is not looking good. Let's just say that. All right, let's go back to the SPY. Look at the daily charts here. Kind of give our forecasts. And again, we keep hitting all our targets. Okay, with the last 2 weeks, there's a target that hit. Last week we said if we gap up, then we would expect to go back down. And you can see we put that target out, the start of that target or forecast out like a day or two later. You can see that there. And target hit again on the SPY. Okay, so what's our forecast now? Well, this is a tough one with what's going on in the world. Any kind of news, remember, news trumps the charts. So any kind of news, you can throw the technicals out, okay? If there's some kind of ceasefire going, announced, which, it doesn't look like it right now, but if we get some ceasefire news overnight, you would expect the markets to explode higher, okay? But again, we don't know that, right? All we can do is go off the charts. So I'm going to go a little bit higher here, and the only reason I'm going to go a little bit higher is because of the high volume on that wick. Okay, look how low. We almost got to this support level on the SPY, and then they bid it up, okay? Funny, this target from way back when hit, but again, we do not keep targets on the chart active for months. There's some people here on YouTube and on X who keep their targets active and going for months and months. And if they finally do it 3 months later, they take credit for it, but we don't do that here at Delphi. So anyway, I am going to go up just because of that volume. But again, we have the move. This is the daily chart. We have the moving averages here. Okay, and you can see already they reversed the SPY right there. So again, any bounce forecast we put in, if you're taking calls, do not be greedy. Take your profits. So just because of that volume bar, and the CCI has a sell signal, stochastic has a sell signal, so this is a little bit of a tougher forecast. I'm just going off that volume for a little bit of a bounce, and it may only go back to today's high. So I'm just going to go up just a little bit for a bounce, and then again, we could reverse anywhere up here to head back down. If we don't go back down from here, that is. Okay, maybe some news comes out and the markets don't like it, and we go down again tomorrow. But anyway, off the chart, going up just a little bit on the SPY. Okay, Q's same situation here. Okay, look at that volume bar. Remember though, volume going up, as in this case the Q's going down, that's bearish. Okay, so that is bearish, but the only reason I'm going a little higher here is we closed over this level here. Okay, so, and there is resistance here. Again, only reason is the high bar with that wick. Okay, that's the only reason. I am going a little higher, and I'm only going a little higher, not even up to that resistance. Okay, and again, we have the averages here that will continue to push things lower. Okay, we showed you the monthly chart. So, again, monthly chart trumps the daily. So that's QQQ. And then again, if we look at our forecast the last 2 weeks, forecast here hit. And last week we actually went up, and that forecast there hit, target hit there. So again, you see a lot of these white targets hit, okay? Now, let's go to IWM. IWM, again, last 2 weeks, our target hit here going down. Our target here last week hit going up. And now we closed over this 258 level. And this is a level to watch. I mean, look at this. Things were not looking good here. We were trading under this low here. And things were actually looking like we were just going to keep dumping today in the IWM. But again, we bounced at that high volume bar. But again, the averages weight above. And again, we showed you the monthly chart here. We do think we're going to get to this 246 level at some point in the IWM. Okay, but for now, we're going to go up a little higher. Okay, maybe not even back to today's high. And then if we do go higher, we would expect a reversal back down in the IWM. Now remember, what news trumps the charts, so take these technicals with a grain of salt, even though our targets keep hitting. Okay, any kind of news can change a lot of things here. So these markets are very sensitive right now to news, obviously, with what's going on. So just be careful trading and just read the charts, and the charts may not even help you if news comes out. Okay, and now let's go to Netflix. We mentioned Netflix. We saw that UOA come through. They bought Netflix puts. So what do we see here on Netflix? Okay, remember, when we get the UOA and we post it for our members, we look at the charts. Okay, we don't just trade UOA or option flows blindly. You have to look at the charts, and if the option flows make sense, well, then maybe there's a reason why they're buying it. But we never really know why, okay? We don't know what the motive is. It could be hedging. It could be a $2 million option flow, but they're for puts, but they're long $30 million. So we never know, but all we can do is look at the charts. So we're going to give a contingent early look at this bonus play because, you know, things might pivot lower by next week, and this target might hit that we're going to put out. So contingent on a pivot. Okay, remember, a pivot would be a lower high, lower low. Okay, it might not be tomorrow. It could be the next day or the day after. But contingent on a pivot, which would be a lower high, lower low, we think Netflix, I'm just going to go out maybe a little bit, a couple days. On a pivot, it's going to go right back down to test this support level. And we honestly think that depending what the indexes do, this gap is in play here. So that is Netflix. Look at that volume just crash here as Netflix is going higher. That is bearish, folks. When the volume is going down and the stock is going up, that's bearish. Look at that CCI, almost off the chart there with that reading, and the stochastic is already off the chart. So bonus play on this, contingent on the pivot. If you want to trade this with puts, we would say wait for a pivot, and we would expect Netflix to start to come down. We think this move higher could be done. Look, there's even another gap down there. So that is Netflix. That's our forecast for the indexes. Again, please be very careful with the trading. If you don't have hedges on, you might want to consider some. And again, please like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please follow us on X. We're putting out amazing content there. Our content is even, people are following, and, they're doing amazingly well following our posts. So that's it from us. Good luck this week trading. Keep an eye out what's going on in the Middle East, and we will see you next week. Take care.